I would like to take the next hot iron, which was the question of the registry or the consumer's inventory. I think you have mentioned that too, so this is the question to Otto Linher, who is coordinating that kind of debate in the EU DG. So could you explain what is the status quo, what will be next steps, and how far are you on that question?
Well, maybe a few kind of introductory sentences on what we find in terms of nanomaterials on the market, and I'll then go to the concrete question on the registry, which I think is even more boring than the first question. Because the first question is really interesting, because well, we are facing a situation where a lot of materials are finding out whether they are nanomaterials or not. And we get a lot of criticism also on the definition, because people say it's too broad. Well, I think the fact is that all those materials do contain nanoparticles. So either we are concerned about nanoparticles as such, and then we have to look at those as well, or we're not. And this is something that we will have to find out in terms of policy response. But now, when we're looking into what is on the market, well, one statement that I get very often is we don't know what is on the market. Well, at least for those materials that we know, or everybody has thought them to be nanomaterials for a long time, well, I think the knowledge is not that bad. Okay, maybe you have figures that might be 3 times, 4 times underestimations or overestimations, but I think we know about the market. So I think the statement to say that we don't know about nanomaterials on the market is not correct. But still we have the perception and the feeling that we need more information than we have currently, and some try to address that through registries. That means to oblige companies to exactly say how much nanomaterials they put on the market on their own or in products or articles. But at the same time, they also find out that this covers a very large scope of materials. For example, I just learned about the Belgian study, which came to the conclusion that the Belgian registry should actually not cover all our nanomaterials, but be focused on certain nanomaterials. In France, you have a restriction to what they call intentionally manufactured nanomaterials, which in itself is not unproblematic. And I think there has been a lot of discussion in France about how to interpret this term intentionally manufactured.
And how would you deal with the differences? What would be the next steps for you?
Well, we're seeing that there are national systems coming up. We are assessing what it actually means for Europe. We're assessing whether we need a similar system, a harmonized system in Europe. So the first question is, do we need a harmonized European system? That triggers also the question, what are the potential risks that we are addressing? What are the benefits that can be gained out of a system? And would the data that we're generating, would they actually allow to address those risks? That's the first step. If the first question comes to the conclusion, yes, we need a system at European level, the next step is exactly what, for example, the Belgian study has done, is to look at what kind of data do we need to fill in an EU registry.